Hey everybody, this is Butt Sanchez, the only YouTuber that made you realize you've never had a better time on YouTube. Until now. Anyway, last level we went through Bottle Grotto. Whoops. Not a big deal, I guess we can take less damage. We went through Bottle Grotto, and today we're going to go to level 3, which is Key Cavern. I'm going to try very carefully to jump around the piece of heart while taking damage, I guess. Okay, awesome. Now, I mentioned that this is a tool-assisted playthrough, not a speedrun, so I'm actually going to go out of my way a little bit. So if you're following this guide for speedrunning purposes, this is not the optimal way to go about the game, but I just want to have a whole bunch of bombs. And conveniently, the guy that drops the... well, not drops, but upgrades your bomb bag capacity is right here. If you play this game casually, you notice this guy, when you first find him, will double your magic powder. However, he gives you a choice when he prompts you. So when he prompts you, say no, which I'm guessing that's no. And if you say no, then he'll say, okay, I won't upgrade your magic powder, but I will upgrade your bombs. Would you like to do that? If you say yes, he actually will upgrade your bombs and double them from 30 to 60. He also fills up your bomb bag, which is kind of nice. But if you say no yet again, he'll actually allow you to choose if you want to double your arrow capacity. And if you say no again, you go right back to magic powder and so on in that sequence to upgrade your stuff. So you don't actually have to get the magic powder first. Kind of cool, huh? I don't know why they programmed it like that, but this is what they did, I guess. Anyway, we're gonna go collect some seashells. Conveniently, there's one right in the village over here that we need to get, so we'll just go and grab it right now. I'll get the shovel out first. Head her over to Madame Bow Wow. Now, we could return Bow Wow to the lady in that house, but I'm just gonna keep Bow Wow because why not? He's kind of fun. As you can see right there, he actually is showing the location of a seashell, kind of in this corner. I always wondered how people found that particular seashell, because it's very random, but I guess that's what having Bow Wow's for. Unless people, like, found it fun to just kind of dig every single square in the game, which, personally, I don't think that's very fun. But, yeah, whatever. Anyway, this is the prairie. We can actually go into here now. Here's a warp tile. You actually don't have to walk into that tile to activate it. As long as you activate the square in your map, you actually activate the warp tile. So just a little fun fact there. I'm gonna dodge this guy. I'm gonna get my bombs and my arrows ready. Just to break this rock over here. Not gonna shoot it right away because Bow Wow always gets in the way. Sometimes I wonder why I even keep them. Now we're gonna continue going south a little bit, but first I gotta go north over here. I guess I'll show off the castle. So to get to level 3, you have to do a side quest where you have to go into this castle and collect 5 golden leaves. And then you have to go find a guy named Richard who got kicked out of that castle, and he wants his 5 golden leaves back. And once you do that, he moves out of the way, allowing you to push a box out of the way. And if you do all that sequence, it allows you to go into kind of a grassy field. And in the grassy field, you eventually find the key into level 3, which allows you to get to the level 3. However, we're going to skip all of the quest where we go into the castle and get the golden leaves. Instead, we're going to do a much more fun way of getting through it. I'll show that off after I get the seashell sword. First, I have to go through this kind of cavern. Oh, I want to get hurt. Of course, I don't want to get hurt, then I double my defense. Not that big of a deal. Anyway, just traverse the dungeon. Technically, this is a dungeon. That's why I have Link animating there, because I didn't want to draw the minimap for the dungeon, because technically all of the caves take up an 8x8 area of the map, but like it just didn't really look all that great to display, because it looks like you can go in every single room, but you can't. You can only go in a couple of rooms at a time. So I didn't bother doing that at all. Instead, we have this cute little sprite of Link animating. Well, the more you know, I guess. Anyway, I should have 4 now, so let's, whoops. Let's grab the bracelet, and there should be a seashell underneath this rock over here. And there is. Awesome. Okay. Now we have 5 seashells, so let's go into the seashell house. Attack these moblins. Seriously, again? How annoying. So this is the seashell house. Every time you have 5 or 10 seashells exactly, and you come in here, you get a present with another seashell in it. If you come in here with 20 or more seashells, then a present will drop that contains the seashell sword. However, we're going to kind of duplicate these treasures. So this is called the... I don't know what it's called, bomb skip or event replay or something, but basically I'm going to drop some bombs here. And if I do it a specific frame, after, like drop a bomb, then another bomb, like the frame after, then the event in this room replays. In this case, it's dropping that seashell. So what you do is you drop a bomb and then go to start. And then when you unpause, you hold the B button down and the event will replay just like this. I don't know how people figured this out, but somehow they did. So there you go, 3. Okay, so that's 14 seashells, so that should bring me a grand total of 19. Now, you might be asking, why didn't I just get 20 since I was duplicating the seashells? And that's a very good question. I actually tried getting 15, but I think the game can only have so many sprites displayed at the same time, even though they're stacked on top of each other, but you can only have so many sprites like on the game in the room at a time. And I guess in this case, for this particular room, you can have up to 14 treasure chests at one time. So I have to go out and find one more seashell. Conveniently, there's a seashell directly east, one, I guess, map tile. And just like that, now I have 20 seashells. So let's go get the seashell sword. In case you never could find all of the seashells in the game, that's just one way to do that. And like I said, it's kind of a fun little thing, and the seashell sword is just fun to have. Doubles Link's attack from 1 to 2, so he'll be able to kill almost all monsters with 1 hit. And at full life, he can shoot energy beams out, just like in Link to the Past. Kind of like the animation here, if you want to call that animation. Now, if I remember correctly, this text box actually says something like, you upgraded your sword, you should put your name on it right away in case you lose it. Just kind of a fun little quirk about this game. They have just the comedy in this game is kind of fun. I wish more Zelda games had more comedy added to it. But, yeah, whatever. Anyway, let's go to level 3. So to get to level 3, we're going to go over here, go down this path. And we're going to go over here. Now, both of these bushes have a hole underneath it. So how would you get into the grassy field south? Well, if you jump into the pit and kind of pause buffer until you hear like the sound of Link falling. Once you hear that, you want to hold down. So it's gonna, I have to be quiet for this to hear the sound cue. Hold on. Okay. So that's the sound of Link falling. If I hold down while unpausing, Link will move a few pixels down and transition to the screen just like this. And allows him to kind of bypass all these, like, little bushes. And I guess to show off another glitch, if you fall into the hole here, you start up right on top of that plant up here. Another little fun little thing. Oh, probably should quit being too clever. And to show off yet another glitch, because I didn't go do the golden leaf quest, the key sprite is actually a golden leaf instead of the key for level 3. So fun. And now I'm going to show off yet another glitch to get out of this little kind of bushy area over here. So you kind of walk over here. I'm just doing this for safety reasons. Kind of walk about halfway into this hole and then hold down. You'll fall right out. Cool, huh? Okay, with that we can go to level 3. And to get into level 3, normally you have to go like around this gate and put the key in. You'll see it momentarily. So, oh no, I went around the wrong way, so how am I going to get in here? Can't clip into the wall and do this. For some reason, if you hold your sword away from the hole, clip into it, and hold down and left, then it registers that you put the key into the lock. No clue why that works, but, I mean, as you see, this game is pretty glitchy. I'm going to press pause right here so I don't have to see the text box. Oh, of course. Never mind, I'm being too clever. Anyway, you may be wondering, like, how is this game this glitchy? Well, you gotta give, like, the developers some credit. I mean, the game was written in assembly, and just to demonstrate while I'm saying that, I demonstrated another glitch right there. Normally the chest appears in this spot here, but if you stand here, the chest goes one lower. Like I was saying, this game was written in assembly. Most video games in the 80s and 90s were written in assembly. I don't know why Roller Coaster Tycoon gets all the credit for writing that game entirely in assembly. Of course, the scope of that game is massively larger than this game, but besides the point, most games in the 80s and 90s were written in assembly. They just needed that memory is scarce back then. Anyway, enough ranting, so let's just kind of super jump over this wall into the stairs, kill the Zols, or Gels, or whatever they're called. I think they're called Zols. And get this key. I'm gonna grab this piece of power, and I might as well just grab the acorn. I didn't mean to do that, but may as well get it. I'm going to open this wall to my right. Kill the Stalfos. That's weird. I don't feel like I'm moving 25% faster with a piece of power. I wonder if it's because I glitched the game slightly with, I don't know, doing the seashell house glitch or whatever, but... Yeah, strange. I don't think I'm moving any faster. Yeah, whatever. So this is the Dongo, I think. Oop. He's really easy. If you just kind of get right in his face, like here, you can actually just put bombs right in his face. Kind of like you're feeding a goose to harvest its liver for Argois. I don't know why I use that as an example, but you see what I'm saying. There's actually a way to kind of skip this boss where you kind of like bonk off of the Dongo when you're swinging your sword. While jumping, you can actually jump over this barrier and get beyond that, that key block, but I'm not showing that off here. I don't really know how to do that very well, so I figure it's not that big of a loss. This dungeon's quite short anyway. And now we got the Pegasus boots. Pegasus boots make Link run a little bit faster, obviously. If you have the feather out while you have the boots out, you can jump quite a bit better. Just like that, we have the Nightmare Key. We need one more key, though, so we have to go to Dodongo's room and go through the gate to go back to the beginning of the level in order to get a key, and then we'll go to the boss level. Like that, this dungeon's almost done. Compared to my other videos, I was playing Metroid Prime or Final Fantasy VI especially, like, these videos are going to be a lot shorter, more manageable for the most part, so... Hopefully people that have, I don't know, not a lot of time on their hands can actually sit down and watch these. Anyway, we have 3 keys now. Normally you need 4 keys. I need to get the feather equipped here to get through all these blocks. But if you remember from level 2, there was that rock skip we did to get into level 2. If you kind of clip into this wall here, jump in here, and then press left and right a whole bunch. It looks like I got this correct. You can kind of flip into the wall and bypass that block. That only works when a text box appears, so in that case I didn't have a key, so the block, or I guess the game tutorializes and says something like, whoops, says something like, oh, you don't have a key, well, I'll explain how this works. When you're on a ladder like this, if you kind of press down, Link goes into this like falling animation, kind of like this. If you hold for probably like 2 frames, you'll fall down the ladder. Saves a little bit of time. It's also cool to look at. I wonder what these, like, birds are called. You don't really see them in any other game that I can think of. Perhaps this other... I don't know. Seems like this is the only game you find them in. Why don't you leave a comment below saying if they're in other Zelda games. This is the boss level 3 already. Whoops, I didn't do that very well. Normally if you bonk into the wall, you can bypass getting stunned. Kind of keep whittling at him and then eventually split him like this. I wonder if I'll be able to kill him with just one. I guess that one. Because I had the seashell sword, I'm doing double damage, and then charging my sword and further doing double damage, so I'm doing 4 times the damage. And for some reason, only one of the eyes got killed. Maybe I bonked into him when I was kind of running. I'm not really sure, but regardless, this is actually the end of the video because I got the next instrument, which is the bell, or the chime, or whatever it's called. So, see you next video.